The city market area is full of great deals on fresh produce. It's also full of fascinating stories. None better than the rise and fall of the River Quay. It started, innocently enough, in the mind of Marion Trozzolo. By 1970, Trozzolo had bought about 20 buildings in the blighted area. He fixed them up and rented them out. They called it the River Quay. And soon it was the in place. Food and drink, art and music. Trozzolo's sons remember the family-type atmosphere their father created.
This area was moving. I mean, it was vibrating. You could just walk in the street and feel the energy.
By 73, Trozzolo's dream was too popular to manage on his own, and he sold to an outside developer. But by then, the real presence in the Quay was Freddie Bonadonna. Bonadonna owned a popular night spot called Poor Freddy's. We can't show you his face, and later you'll understand why. But former radio newsman Charlie Gray remembers Bonadonna.
Nice enough. He seemed agreeable. He was a pleasant fellow to talk to.
Back then, Freddie Bonadonna was the unofficial mayor of the Quay. He was well-liked and well-connected at City Hall. But there's one more thing to know about Freddie. Though he never got in any trouble, his father, David Bonadonna, was identified by the FBI as a soldier in Kansas City's organized crime family. Meantime, many of the city's adult businesses needed new locations. Construction near the Barney Alice Plaza had taken over their property. Merchants protested, but they could not keep the go-go girls out of the River Quay. Things had changed, and the liquor was flowing. FBI sources say city government was issuing a suspiciously large number of liquor licenses in the Quay. Joe Camusano wanted one of those licenses for a go-go joint that he would call Uncle Joe's, and Joe Camusano had connections. Federal records show he was a member of the mob. His brother was Willie the Rat Camusano, known to the FBI as a senior member of the Kansas City Mafia. And ultimately, Willie the Rat answered to Nick Savella, who authorities regarded as the head of Kansas City's organized crime family. But the Camusanos had a problem, and his name was Freddie Bonadonna. Freddie was using his power and influence in City Hall to protect the River Quay. He opposed new liquor licenses, and he also opposed adult entertainment. And so, according to federal records, the Camusanos and the mob began to pressure Freddie's father in order to get Freddie to change his mind. It worked for a while. First, Joe Camusano agreed not to bring in go-go girls, and then Freddie helped him get a liquor license for Uncle Joe's bar. But 2 weeks later, the go-go girls hit the stage at Uncle Joe's, and Freddie was enraged. He refused to do any more favors for the Camusanos. Freddie was taking a stand against the mob. The Mafia stalked Freddie's every move, and soon enough, there was a price on his head and on the heads of two associates who protected him, Sonny Bowen and Gary Parker. Freddie's father, the Mafia soldier, had seen enough. He told the Camusanos,
Don't you touch my son. And at that point, he and the Camusano family had a falling out, and though they ran together for a while, it was obvious that they weren't good buddies anymore.
In July of '76, a body was found in the trunk of a '65 Mustang. David Bonadonna had been shot to death.
In order to eliminate Fred, they first had to eliminate his father. That's a standard mob operating procedure to get rid of anyone who might retaliate against the mob for taking somebody out.
Gary Hart was a senior FBI man on the case. He remembers Willie the Rat Camusano was the prime suspect. A search warrant gave authorities a chance to check for evidence in Camusano's service garage on the northeast side. They found nothing. The murder was never solved.
The outfit were very good at what they did best, and that's to kill people without being caught, without being detected, cleaning up after themselves, and not leaving any stray evidence around.
Freddie Bonadonna knew how the Mafia worked, and he knew that he was next. The FBI offered him protection in exchange for his testimony. Freddie refused. He believed his friends, Bowen and Parker, could protect him just fine. But for how long? Because the battle for the River Quay was spreading over the city. Next to die was John Amaro, up in the Northland. The FBI linked him to Kansas City's powerful organized crime family. This unsolved murder broke the mob's unwritten code.
You never hit a man in his home near his family. That's number one, and they did. And in the Kansas City outfit anyway, you don't shoot a man half a block from Nick Savella's house. And they did that in this case, too.
Which is something that the mob could not tolerate. It totally broke their discipline. Was an insult to their standing among the criminal elements in the community, and they couldn't let it go unpunished.
Hart says the mob held Bonadonna's friends responsible and wasted no time with their vengeance. 3 days later, a group of masked men walked into a popular midtown bar called Mr. O'Brien's, and they shot Sonny Bowen to death.
And sort of was indicated how fearful they were and how they were kind of coming unglued to kill someone in such a bold fashion in public.
Bowen's unsolved murder convinced Freddie Bonadonna to go into hiding. Eventually, he decided to move his family into the FBI Witness Protection Program. His identity was erased. But the battle was only half over. Late one Saturday night in March of '77, 2 River Quay bars were blown to bits. Freddie Bonadonna owned the building.
And the street was littered with water from the fire hoses, broken whiskey bottles, shattered music instruments.
There were no fatalities except for the River Quay.
Of course, people were afraid to go down there. They didn't want to be caught in a gun battle. They didn't want to be killed in an explosion in the Mafia bombing range, and that's what it had become.
The bombing was never solved, but the message was clear.
Hey, we're still here. We're still in control. You should fear us.
But there was still one loose end. Gary Parker, Bonadonna's associate and bodyguard. It took a few months, but they got him outside an East Side bar. Parker was killed by a remote-control car bomb. The 4th unsolved murder in just over 1 year. In '79, 2 years later, Joe Camusano was tried in federal court for extortion against Freddie Bonadonna in the River Quay. Joe's brother, Willie the Rat, had pleaded guilty to the same charge and was already serving time. Guess who was the star witness at the trial? Freddie Bonadonna.
Do you believe you got an unfair trial?
Very, very, very much so.
Do you think you can get a fair trial in Kansas City?
In Kansas City? No, sir.
Later, Bonadonna even testified against organized crime in Congress.
Freddie paid a price then. Freddie's paying a price now. Freddie will always be paying a price for his cooperation.
The battle for the River Quay left 1 unsolved explosion and 4 unsolved murders. But from the rubble, Freddie Bonadonna became the first to help shut down the Kansas City mob. The River Quay led the way in a series of mafia prosecutions. Authorities eventually identified scores of Kansas City Mafia members, convicted local leadership for taking illegal and hidden control of the Teamsters Union, and exposed a scam that stole millions from Las Vegas casinos. All of this weakened the mob, but never killed it.
Organized crime has not gone away. We don't expect it to go away completely, but their influence and their sphere of power has been greatly diminished by a series of aggressive prosecutions.
Today, the River Quay is thriving again, although now they call it the River Market. But 20 years later, there's just one person who's still alive from this story, and that's Freddie Bonadonna. He's out there somewhere, in hiding, and judging from an old radio interview, he's probably still wondering about the price on his head.
I've struck one blow this time, and I hope to God I can able to strike more blows in the future. I feel like someday they'll probably find me. But when they find me, they better be able to do what they have to do, because they're not going to take me easy.
For Focus 4, I'm David Schechter.
Well, as for old Mafia leaders, most are dead now, but a high-level member, Carl Tuffy DeLuna, was released from prison a month ago.